I don't know, I'm tired, it's hot, I got a haircut, I got a cold, the test came in negative, but I don't know what to talk about on Wednesday. That had a cool melody. Oh, music! It connected people ever since the prehistoric times, and even back then people knew the truth. Ah, I see. There aren't a lot of times when I get to talk about topics such as the music Riot makes. But now everyone is horny because they are all waiting for the teased spicy story. So I'm pretty sure no one will listen to what I'm going to talk about anyway. And so the time finally came for me to talk about what I want to talk about. Music. While after many years, League of Legends can kinda get stale after releasing more and more new champions, at least when it comes to champion design, somehow the music Riot produces is still getting better and better. And in fact, ever since Vi, people really started paying attention to Riot's masterwork. Now of course, everyone will have their own favorite League of Legends themes. And since most people have different tastes, just know that my favorite themes will be a lot different from everyone else. Partially it's because I am really weird, but also it is because I am very weird when it comes to music. You see, I like to think of myself as somewhat of a music nerd. There is no real reason why I should be considered as one, but I bought the entire orchestra of League of Legends on LPs. I still need an LP player, but as I mentioned, none of you will really pay attention to what I'll be talking about, so now, without further ado, let's have a look at 5 best tracks, in my opinion, that Riot ever released. At number 5, I have to place a theme that is really underappreciated. And that one, of course, belongs to Urgot. Yes, the brutal metal on its own is really cool. But as this theme keeps going, it gets more and more layers. Over time, you will start hearing some lyrics. But these lyrics are not sang in a language which we could understand. As far as we know, these lyrics are actually Zonite. And even after I tried to tweet at the musicians directly, I still couldn't learn what this song is talking about. Still, it sounds really cool. And at the very end, I love how it combines the brutal metal, the Zonite lyrics, and the high-pitched chorus that indicates the last remnants of humanity that are still within Urgot. At number 4, we have none other than Ornn. Now, Ornn's theme on its own is still very cool. And if you find my old comment on that, I still stand by my words. But this isn't even the coolest version of this theme. There is a better version that was used for the original teaser of Ornn. It is essentially the same theme song, but that one had full lyrics that were even translated. The song is called The Path to Hearth Home, and it's basically a legend about how you can find Ornn. However, this song was sang in ancient Freljordian, and that's what really made this cool. After you listen to this version, you'll agree that this is 1,000 times better than his normal theme. Of course, this is the reason why Volibear's theme was also sang in ancient Freljordian. With Volibear, they kinda copied what Ornn did. And yes, I have to agree, Volibear's theme is also really good, but there are other cool tracks which I like even more. At number 3, we have Odyssey. You thought I would only talk about champion themes? No, when it comes to Riot's maps, their music there is oftentimes even better. After all, that's where the Bilgewaterian theme was born. But Odyssey was even better. You could only hear this music on the Crash Site map, which was the main part of the entire Odyssey event. And the music there is so incredibly good that these days Riot is still using that theme to present skins in Wild Rift. I'm gonna play that part, and you tell me if you recognize it from the Wild Rift trailers. This track is just incredibly heroic, it is absolutely amazing and I love it. This is one of many reasons why I wish Riot would bring this game mode back. And now we are moving on to number 2. A very recent track, which many of you will recognize as the theme of Lilia. But I didn't put it at number 2 just because of Lilia herself. I put it here because I feel very nostalgic about the entire Spirit Blossom event. Because that's where that theme was heavily utilized. And in fact, you know what, at number 2 we have the entire Spirit Blossom soundtrack. There hasn't really been a single track that wouldn't be awesome. And especially since I know the context of the story when these tracks were played, I get a little bit extra value from them. I know that this is the track when Lilia tried to get me naked. This is the track when Vayne became tsundere. This is when Kindred learned about the Grey Man. And this is when Cassiopeia tried to crush my bones. This entire soundtrack was insanely awesome, and partially it is responsible for why this entire event was so awesome. I made an hour-long video explaining the lore of Spirit Blossom, which is canon in the normal universe. I hope you understand that I think it is good, but is it as good as the next track? I'm just kidding, everyone knows that my intro is actually Tariq's theme. But ironically, I don't think it is that great. Yes, it absolutely fits the channel, and that's it. So instead, at number 1, I have the one track that always gives me chills, no matter when or where I play it. It is the track that I consider to be an absolute masterpiece. And to this day, Riot has never released anything better. I don't even know where to start with this one. From the very beginning to the very end, it is just a masterpiece. It starts mysterious with the high violin showing us the classy side of Camille. But then it quickly turns darker and more serious to show us what she's really about. Everyone knows that many of Riot's soundtracks are actually based around the champion's story, and many of them actually follow the champion's story directly. For example, if you listen to Pantheon, you can hear the exact point when he encounters Aatrox. And recently I ranted on our second channel about Gwen for a very long time. But somehow Camille is special because she was one of the very first champions who actually got a really memorable theme. And a really good one at that. Normally the old awesome themes don't age as well. There are exceptions like Jinx and Vi, both of which are still excellent tracks to this day, but Camille was the first one who was produced with the normal kind of budget. It was just a champion theme, but someone poured their heart into it, and it definitely shows. So to this day, I still don't believe there is a better music track than Camille's theme. Believe it or not, this was a hard video to make because Riot makes a lot of great music. So if I had to do honorable mentions, there would definitely be Kindred, a soundtrack in which you can separately hear the lamp and the wolf. The lamp is represented by the high piano and the wolf is the deep cello. Then of course there is Jin's theme, which is also really awesome, but it didn't really age that well. Yes, back then it was awesome to hear the gunshots as part of the theme, but these days it's kinda meh. And recently we got Gwen. Gwen was actually very close to being put on this list, but somehow I don't feel like she earned her place just yet. Her story is still in development, and so who knows, maybe once the Viego storyline is done, we will get more nostalgic towards it. But that is it for this video where I talked about what I wanted to talk about. If you disagree with this list and you have other themes which you think are better, let me know. Are you paying attention? The Horny bit comes next week.